Governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, as the contestant. According to the court, evidence before it shows that Mr. Lamido was unjustly denied the opportunity to obtain a nomination form to contest for the national chairmanship position of the party, contrary to both the constitution and regulations of the PDP. The court ordered and declared that the party was under obligation to create opportunities for its members to serve by putting deliberate measures in place to enable them realize their aspirations.
I feel that the PDP, my own party, which I love, has also lost. The time given to me, I'm now, because there was after the injunction, the party, if they said they would have called me, so you can't take your form, because there are about 3 days before the judgment. The injunction is for the party to look, to reflect and say, look, let us give them the form. They didn't come. They didn't call me. So I'm not going to the judgment. I waited for them to call me to come and say, can collect your form. But again, I feel that PDP family bond and the trust and the cohesion is being eroded. So I feel very sad. And I also feel that, it's having got my own rights, because to me, it's the right I'm fighting for, my right and the other rights in my own party. But then the consequence of the right is also fairly, it's not really nice to me, the consequence of my own right. So I hope that, by this ruling, the party will be able to call me and say, okay, can I take your form? But then again, like the judge says, I have to go and fill nomination and then campaign. And the commission is coming tomorrow, there's no time. But then I'm waiting to hear from them.
Meanwhile, the Oyo State High Court sitting in Ibadan, the state capital, has extended its existing order allowing the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party to hold as scheduled on November the 15th and the 16th. The presiding judge, Justice Ladimer Akitola, also reaffirmed that the interim order earlier granted, which restrains the defendants from disrupting or interfering with preparations for the PDP National Convention, remains in force. Counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission, or DNE, had on Friday challenged the court's jurisdiction to entertain the matter brought before it by the claimant or applicant. He also argued that INEC is an agency of the federal government, and as a result, any matter involving it can only be entertained by a federal high court. But the lead counsel to the claimants, Mr. Musaibu Adetunbi, senior advocate of Nigeria, faulted that argument of the defense counsel, describing it as an infringement on the fundamental rights of the claimant. And quoting Section 251 of the Constitution, Mr. Adetunbi contended that INEC does not fall within the category of agencies whose cases are placed exclusively before the Federal High Court. He then asked the court to dismiss the objection and proceed with a substantive suit. And after listening to both sides, Justice Akintola adjourned the ruling to December the 8th, 2025. And as for the new Nigeria People's Party, members are asking the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to desist from recognizing the planned national convention being proposed by the Rabiu Kwakwanso-led faction of the party. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Secretary General of the party, Comrade Ogene Olaposi, says that Mr. Kwakwanso, who was the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 general election, has been expelled, along with the entire National Working Committee of the party, led by Mr. Ahmed Ajuji. Mr. Olaposi also adds that INEC has refused to obey a valid court judgment delivered in their favor, which restrains the commission from attending to any communication from Mr. Rabiu Kwakwanso.
And my humble self, we are here to tell the new sheriff in town in INEC, Professor Joas Amupito, not to fall into the shenanigans and trick of a manipulator, a political manipulator called Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. To all Nigeria, I'm here to say it boldly that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is not the founder of NNPP, neither is he one of the founding fathers. He came to join us less than 3 years ago. And his joining the party is more of a curse than blessing. because I've never seen it in life where a tenant will want to take over the whole property. So it is on this note that we are alerting Independent National Electoral Commission under Professor Joas Amupito not to fall to the antics of the hijacker called Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso.
Well, as judicial intrigues continue to plague the upcoming PDP National Convention, which is scheduled to hold tomorrow in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, the organizers are insisting that the convention is holding despite court injunctions. And all appears set now as logistics have been put in place to ensure a peaceful event. The vice chairman, the convention venue committee, Mr. Stanley Olajide, told Channels Television that they are confident of a win with a simple majority and ensures the convention will be a success.
The stage is set for the PDP National Convention at the Lake Osalami Stadium at Amasigba, Ibadan, this Saturday 15th and Sunday 16th November. Delegates from across the country have begun arriving in the Oyo State capital. Some are seen inspecting the stadium, checking seating allocations for their respective states, and getting a feel for the historic event. Earlier, a legal tug-of-war unfolded. Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the convention to be halted, while simultaneously Justice Ladino Akintola of the Oyo State High Court ruled that the convention should proceed uninterrupted. Despite these conflicting directives, organizers remain undeterred. Members of the organizing committee, led by the Oyo State Deputy Governor Bayo Lawal, continue putting finishing touches on arrangements at the stadium. Delegates echo this optimism, expressing hope for a smooth convention and favorable outcomes.
Expectations, they're just like any other person's expectation coming for a convention. You expect it to be good, you expect it to be productive, and you expect it to be peaceful. So basically, that's what I expect coming for this convention.
As preparations stretch into the early hours, questions linger. Are both courts acting within legal bounds? Will the convention finally foster the long-awaited cohesion within the PDP? As the party titans gear up to battle for the soul of the PDP, the coming days will reveal who will blink first. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
The All Progressives Congress in Taraba State has announced the defection of Governor Abu Kaifas from the ruling People's Democratic Party in the state and joining the All Progressives Congress, the APC. This was disclosed by the Publicity Secretary of the party and a stakeholder shortly after some closed-door meetings by the governor. According to them, the defection of the governor to the APC means that there is no active opposition in the state again, even as they insist there were no conditions set for the governor to join the APC.
His Excellency has told us that in a few weeks there will be a formal ceremony to welcome him, which means that, when a governor is shifting, it's not a small event. The president or the vice president and the national chairman of the party and other people would be joining him. Other leaders of the party national working committee would be in Taraba to formally receive him. His Excellency, the Governor of Taraba, had already informed the public that the president by himself handed him over to the national chairman of the APC, Dr. Nantowe. So all the other things are now falling in place. And this is what I am to confirm to you, journalists, from the standpoint of the APC itself. Yesterday's event was the governor's event, state government's event. But we also, in the APC, are confirming that His Excellency is joining us without any hassle, without any rancor. And he has said clearly in his own speech yesterday that he's coming to join hands with everybody for the interests of the state, development of the state. And the major thing he's calling for is unity.
And away from politics now, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II, is asking members of the National Assembly to expedite action on the proposed special seat bill currently before the Assembly, stating that the bill should include 2 reserved seats for women in each geopolitical zone, as this will help tackle the underrepresentation of women in Nigeria's landscape. Oba Adeyeye made the call while meeting with other traditional rulers from the southwest region of the country.
We may be seated.
The advocacy for the passage of the special seats bill for women both in the national and state houses of assemblies is getting exceptional boost at this meeting organized by the Oni of Ife for other traditional rulers from the southwest region. Mapping out strategies to ensure the bill, which is currently on the second reading at the National Assembly, is passed, is the central focus of this meeting.
This initiative, I can assure you, is yielding a very positive result. Right now, as I speak, for the Senate upper chamber, 6 for each geopolitical zone has been proposed. We're here to further appeal to the majority of the House that please at least consider 2 for them per each geopolitical zone. Please, we are begging on their behalf, we traditional rulers.
The proposed bill seeks to provide 82 reserved seats for women in the National Assembly, 55 seats in the House of Representatives, while 27 in the Senate for women and persons with disabilities. According to statistics, at the 10th National Assembly, women only occupy 4.2% out of the 469 seats combined in the 2 chambers, while at the state level, there are only about 55 women out of the 990 seats in the state houses of assembly. This, however, does not align well with other invited guests as they add their views on the subject matter.
If you have 14 houses of assembly without any woman, what are they deciding about women in the country? This is a huge problem. That's why we are saying, unless women are on the table, their issues will not come on board.
The special seat bill, therefore, represents a temporary but targeted affirmative action mechanism consistent with the principle of substantive equality.
The clamor for the passage of special seats has further intensified with this meeting. It's believed that the creation of special seats, both at the federal and state level, will address the long-standing structural imbalance in Nigeria's political representation. From Abuja, Kumbi Aboluade, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, the Joint Health Sector Union, JHESU, declares indefinite strike starting midnight today for full implementation of the Adjusted Consolidated Health Salary Structure without further delay. Please join us again.
Life is full of stress. But with InDrive, you can set a price for your ride. Choose a top-rated driver and fill your life with gladness and serenity during the ride. InDrive, choose a fair price for your ride. Because life is more than daily stress.
My mama no lie, oh. Food waste with na money kill and plus everything combined, oh. Everything combined, oh. Ogbonge just the arrive, oh. She tell me say na devil king, so yeah, oh, she get use fry, oh. Yeah. Now why did you love it this sweet like this? The chicken in the crisp like this. Fry the plantain.
Introducing the new Devon King's soya vegetable oil, available in stores near you.
is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
Major currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
The reward of success.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to... The only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the federal government of Nigeria. Endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer. Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land at Sure Banker. Progress na small wind wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course na, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
If you know, you know. And if you don't, more better pay attention. Jumia Black Friday is here. It's the one time of the year where you can get all the things you've always wanted for way less. Because Jumia's biggest deals are what you get from everything from phones and electronics to clothes, beauty products, and so much more. Do pass yourself and get whatever you want and more with no regret, just savings. Mark your calendar so you don't miss out on Jumia Black Friday this year. Download the Jumia app now. Jumia, joy delivered.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. An Abuja Federal High Court led by Justice Peter Lifu has orders the PDP to suspend its planned national convention in Abuja, in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. An Oyo State High Court extends its existing order, allowing the national convention of the PDP to hold its scheduled convention in Ibadan on Saturday without interference or disruption. Oni of Ife Obadeye Ogunwusi urges the National Assembly to fast-track the special seats bill and allocate 2 women per seat in the geopolitical zone. And Russian drone strikes in eastern Kiev apartment block, killing 6 and injuring dozens amid a broader wave of attacks on the Ukrainian capital. Over now to the health sector, where the Joint Health Sector Union, Johesu, has announced an indefinite strike with effect from midnight on November the 14th, 2025, which is 15th actually, until the implementation of the adjusted consolidated health salary structure. The national chairman of the Medical and Health Workers Union, Comrade Kabiru Minjibri, says the government has made no effort to reach an agreement with the unions.
On the issue of the meeting between the federal government and the leadership of Johesu, it may interest you to know that Johesu, as contained in the Labour Act, writes and has informed the federal government of 15 days ultimatum before we come to this stage of summoning expanded National Executive Council meeting. But unfortunately, in their usual manner, they have not called for any conciliation meeting until yesterday, that is at the eve of the strike action. For the 13 days, government deems it unnecessary to call the leadership of Johesu. And Johesu has been very patient for all these years. And if the Honorable Minister of Health have said that these demands have been there for the successive administrations, and think government is a continuous process. It's a process of taking over of assets and liabilities, and these demands have been there for the past 12 years. And it has to take the intervention of Mr. President himself, as stated in our text, where he promised us that he will intervene personally and bring this issue to an end.
And we head over to the nation's capital, Abuja, now, where Terry Ikume is standing by to bring us more stories on the news at 10. Over to you, Terry.
Well, thank you very much, Anne. The Department of State Services says it has recaptured an alleged top commander of the Ansaru terrorist group, Abdulaziz Obadaki, suspected of masterminding the August 7, 2012 mass shooting of Christian worshippers at the Deeper Life Bible Church near Okene, Kogi State. At least 19 worshippers, including the pastor, were killed, with several others sustaining varying degrees of injuries after 3 men armed with AK-47 rifles walked into the church and opened fire. Quoting security sources, the DSS adds that Mr. Obadaki also masterminded another attack on 5 commercial banks in Uromi, Edo State. He was previously arrested but escaped during the July 2022 jailbreak at Kuje Custodial Center. The suspected terrorist leader is alleged to have confessed to orchestrating the Kuje Custodial Center jailbreak following his transfer from Kaba Custodial Center in June 2022. The arrest comes barely 2 months after the secret police arraigned 5 suspects linked to the 2022 Catholic Church attack in Owo, Ondo State. During the February 2022 daylight bank robberies in Uromi, Edo State, which instilled widespread fear across the region, several policemen and bank customers were killed, while hundreds of millions of naira were reportedly stolen. Now, the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs has endorsed President Bola Tinubu's nominees, approving Honorable Ayo Midiron as Executive Chairman, along with several others appointed as commissioners of the Federal Character Commission. The committee gave its endorsement during a screening session held at the National Assembly. Chairman of the Senate Committee, Senator Onyesa Orwell, representing Rivers Southeast, commended President Bola Tinubu for what he described as high caliber, the quality of individuals nominated to serve in the commission. In keeping with parliamentary tradition, nominees who previously served as lawmakers were permitted to take a bow and leave. President Tinubu's nominee for Executive Chairman and former member of the 8th House of Representatives was granted the privilege following a successful screening session. The committee's recommendations will now be forwarded to the Senate plenary, where lawmakers are expected to take a final decision on the confirmations at the next legislative sitting. Nigeria's late former head of state, General Murtala Mohammed, has been bestowed with an award of honor and recognition by the people and government of Angola. The award ceremony in Luanda was part of activities marking Angola's 50th independence anniversary. General Murtala Mohammed was honored posthumously for his decisive role in supporting Angola's independence from Portuguese colonial rule in 1975. Nigeria, under his leadership, was among the first to recognize the popular movement for the liberation of Angola government. The event also had two other Nigerian former presidents, Olusegun Obasanjo and former Minister of External Affairs, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, honored with awards. The children of the late head of state, Mr. Abba Murtala Muhammad and Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Oyebode, were on hand to receive the award on behalf of their father.
I just cannot express how delighted I am, because for us, my father was killed when I was 12 years old, and there were times when it felt like such a painful sacrifice. But to be able to come here and see that what he did really made a huge difference to this country, and that people recognize and they acknowledge him, for me, it doesn't take away the pain of loss, but it makes the sacrifice even more real.
General Mohammed took some risks many years ago by believing in the future of our brothers and sisters in Angola, by staking, our, well-being to ensure that we give Angolans the opportunity to be free, to be sovereign, and to be independent.
Angola, because right here I'm standing at the...
Nigeria's former permanent representative to the United Nations and former Minister of External Affairs, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, thanked the government of Angola for the honor and for naming the longest avenue in Luanda after late General Murtala Muhammad as a mark of his contributions to the development of the country.
Angola. As you know, he recognized on behalf of Nigeria, MPLA government, and pushed to become a member of the then Organization of African Unity, now Africa Union. On the same day, former President Obasanjo was being honored at the same ceremony by President Lorenzo of the Republic of Angola for continuing the policies as began by the late General Murtala Muhammad, supporting, consolidating, assisting the people and the government of Angola to consolidate their independence.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria moves to deepen crypto oversight as Securities and Exchange Commission, Cambridge and Busha launched Digital Assets Program. That's on Business News. Stay with us.
This is the story of MTN in Nigeria. Led by Nigerians with over 45% female leadership. Guided by our strategy, we continue to partner with relevant platforms, leveraging our profile as the most trusted and valued brand in Africa. We are driving digital and financial inclusion, supporting our communities and national priorities. We are proud to be the first telco to achieve over 82% coverage in 4G and the first to roll out 5G in Nigeria. We continue to deepen financial inclusion in underserved communities through our Momo agents and merchants. We are committed to ensuring that we provide through these platforms access at the fingertips of every Nigerian. Oh yes, we truly believe that everyone deserves the benefits of a modern connected life.
Cletus, what's in your cup for here? Now only you won't clear all these meats. I shall hope say your dentist sabi say they carry out this kind risky operation. Bros, you never do. Don't clear 2 cows for here. Wait, no be brocoto be that. Donuts, cake. Bros, you too overdo. Eh? I hope say na bone crack. Don't look me, you didn't whine.
That's what happens when you overdo things. You pay a huge price.
Unless, of course, you're shopping on Jumia Black Friday. From October 31st to December 1st, overindulge in everything you've always wanted with no regrets. Just savings. Download the Jumia app now. Jumia, joy delivered.
of success.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning to do very good work for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we have all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Access Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization.
Welcome to Whitey Bets, your new home for sports betting and thrilling casino games.
It's time to level up your game. Whitey Bet. Bet smart, win big, play with confidence. Incredible odds, non-stop action, fast payouts. And it's all safe, secure, and just a click away. Whitey Bet. Bet smart, win big, play with confidence.
Play now for a chance to win.
Whitey Bet.
Welcome back to the News at 10. Now, the Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta, PIND, and the Ford Foundation have officially concluded the Bridges Project with high-level stakeholders dialogue forum in Ikorekpene, Akwa Ibom State. The event brought together leaders from government, settlers, regulators, representatives of host community development trusts, and communities. Through its multi-stakeholder platform, the project helps to strengthen transparency, build trust, and promote shared accountability in the implementation of the PIA's HCDT framework, a central mechanism of the PIA designed to ensure that host communities benefit directly from extractive activities.
Launched in 2023, the Bridges Project, a collaborative intervention by the Foundation for Partnerships in the Niger Delta, has served as a transformative platform for dialogue and collaboration among regulators and host communities. This two-day event in Akwa Ibom State reflects on the lessons and gains in the 4 years of implementing the Petroleum Industry Act, particularly the provisions of its host communities development trusts.
There was a need to understand what the laws provided, and there's also a need to recognize what are the opportunities in that law, and even operationalize it. Even for the settler, what does the law mean? For communities, what did the law mean? And even for settlers, there was a time to really understand it. And we saw as an organization the opportunity to help the key stakeholders understand, to unbundle what the components of the law is and how to work as partners to achieve the objectives.
Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Host Communities gives assurances that he and his colleagues are committed to the implementation of the PIA.
Let me inform you, some other trusts have been able to recover what was a short money, and I can proudly say so, by an investigation that was commissioned by my committee, and some of those trusts have been able to get what ought to get them. And I can assure us that whatever shortfalls that may exist, with some other trusts will be recovered in the days ahead.
Meanwhile, the national chairman of the Host Communities Development Trusts Forum, Mr. Smart Opara, gives further details on the impacts of the project.
It's through the Bridges project that even the act itself was taken down to the people. I don't know how many Nigerians read the Constitution, apart from those who are lawyers, but the act has been properly interpreted by Bridges project at various local levels. the interpretation sorts on ambiguous clauses, and we were able to make changes, to recommend changes to our leaders in Abuja because of Bridges project.
A reliable roadmap is already in place to ensure sustainability of the gains of the Bridges project.
We're discussing templates with them about how to sustain the projects, So even at the state level, we are looking for ways that the state MSP can continue after Bridges project finishes. And we're looking at funding options that are possible.
The Foundation for Partnerships Initiative in the Niger Delta is a Nigerian not-for-profit organization that promotes peace building, economic growth, and sustainable development in the region through multi-stakeholder partnerships and market-driven interventions.
And it's a wrap from the nation's capital. The rest of the news continues from Lagos with Anne.
Thank you very much, Terry. To company news, MTN Nigeria has officially begun its 2025 Yellow Tide campaign by handing over shopping vouchers to customers in the nation's capital. Well, these vouchers range from 20,000 naira to 100,000 naira. And the management of the company explains that this year's campaign aims to create memorable festive season for all Nigerians.
As the Yuletide draws closer, MTN Nigeria is lighting up this year 2025 festive season with its annual Yellow Tide campaign in Abuja. This year's theme, Vibe with the Yellow Tide, is targeted towards spreading joy, appreciation and connection while creating a truly memorable shopping experience for Nigerians in the Federal Capital Territory.
The Yellow Tide, it's a campaign from MTN ushering all of us into the festive season. Now this is a season of love, this is a season of friendship, this is a season of reaching out to our loved ones. Inclusivity is about everybody, customers, non-customers, family, friends, somebody said even your own enemy. So if you give him a voucher, show him love, it's practically for everybody. From now till December, we have a whole lot of programs that we're running with across Nigeria. So all you need to do is just go to our website, yellowtide.mtn.ng. These are the vouchers. Let's go surprise people. Let's make them smile. Nigerians are very difficult to smile, but when they see this, Yellow Vibe Time. Vibe with the Yellow Tide. Let's go.
On behalf of MTN, we're paying for your shopping. Thank you so much. This is for you. That's a £50 an hour.
Right? So, are you all saying?
For the top people, and that's why we're giving you a voucher for 100,000. So what do you want to say about MTN? Hope you have an MTN line. Correct.
The shopping vouchers ranging from 100,000, 50,000, 30,000 and 20,000 naira are handed out to lucky shoppers.
I feel so blessed. I feel so honored. I'm sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I wasn't expecting this. So I'm so happy and I'm grateful to MTN. And I want to say that this means a lot to so many other people.
I feel very overwhelmed, very, very happy. Thank you very much, MTN. I'm really, really grateful. I would say keep doing what you know how to do best. God will continue to lift people higher. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This is the voucher I received from MTN, and I'm very, very happy to receive that. Wow, I will use it to celebrate my December period, my festive period with it. Yeah, thank you very much.
It's mission accomplished for MTN Nigeria, as they've now successfully put smiles on the faces of some residents in FCT. But they've promised to continue in this trajectory in order to promote a truly memorable festive season in the country. From Abuja, Kumbi Aboluade, Channels Television News.
An indigenous marine logistics company, Tamrose Limited, is showing what some say is proof that government-backed financial interventions can actually transform local businesses in the country. At the headquarters of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board in Yenagoa, industry leaders converged to celebrate the remarkable growth of Tamrose Limited that has now expanded its marine fleet, increased employment opportunities, and fully repaid a $10 million facility 6 years ago.
Inside the main hall of the Content Towers at NCDMB in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, is a celebration of what is possible when government intervention meets disciplined indigenous entrepreneurship. That's the story of Tamros Limited, growing from a modest operator to one of Nigeria's leading marine logistics companies.
Visionary managers and a culture built on teamwork, discipline, and safety.
The executive chairman highlights the company's impressive journey of growing its fleets, expanding operations and human capital engagement and development.
Our operations have grown from 4 vessels to 15 units, comprising of 10 security patrol vessels and 5 platform supply vessels, all purpose-built and carefully selected to safely deliver our hallmark excellent services of reliability and efficiency.
Representatives of partner institutions and government agencies had great remarks about Tamros Limited's performance and operations.
On behalf of the board of Bank of Industry, executive management and staff of the bank, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to the executive management and staff of Tamros Limited on this remarkable milestone.
I commend the leadership and team of Tamros for exemplifying operational excellence and, most importantly, for sustaining a fully Nigerian flag fleet.
For the Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board, the event was also a validation of the Nigerian Content Intervention Fund as the supervising minister commits to supporting local capacity in the sector.
Tamros Limited stands before us today as clear evidence that our approach is delivering measurable results. Their journey from a modest operator to a full-fledged Nigerian marine logistics leader is a story that gives us pride.
Oil and gas, exploration cannot be successful without a very strong logistic companies. And that is why I'm happy that NCDMB, through this NCIL fund, has designed it in such a way that companies like Tamros will continue to leverage on the availability of this, fund, to grow, their fleet.
For Tamros Limited, the celebration was both a milestone and a message with strategic support, accountability, and disciplined execution. Indigenous Nigerian companies can scale, compete globally, and contribute significantly to the national economy.
Let's continue with more company news, and in the world of business, Laddie Williams is standing by.
Thanks, Anne. Well, in business news, the Securities and Exchange Commission of Nigeria has teamed up with Cambridge Enterprise and digital assets provider Busha to launch a groundbreaking executive education program focused on digital assets. At a 6-week online executive certificate in digital assets, innovation, industry regulation, and compliance is designed to deepen capacity in blockchain, stablecoins, CBDCs, and virtual assets regulation. Participants will explore modules ranging from blockchain fundamentals to anti-money laundering compliance, stablecoins, and regulation of virtual assets. And the African Development Bank has approved a $100 million loan to the Emerging Africa and Asia Infrastructure Fund to boost sustainable infrastructure development across the continent. The funding, approved by the AFDB's Board of Directors, is set to unlock private capital for high-impact sectors, including renewable energy, transport, and digital connectivity, helping to bridge the continent's sizable infrastructure financing gap. The loan is also a part of EAAIF's debt-raising program, under which the fund aims to secure $300 million in long-term capital in 2025 and deploy more than $850 million across Africa and Asia by 2027. And it's been quite the week. Stock exchange from 2 days of big losses to 3 days of some recovery. And John McCrae has more.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Stock Market Report. Well, I'm happy to say that bullish sentiment has been sustained in the market. It's the third positive close we're having this week. Today, MTN drove that positive sentiment. It closed at 475 naira. It gained 3 naira on each of its stocks. We see the sectors, it's mixed today because we see banking. Banking has gone down. It closed red today, 1.40. There was profit taken on GTCO, UBA, and Zenith Bank. Consumer goods is, however, up, slightly up. Dangote Sugar drove it mostly, as well as Guinness. Oil and gas recovered from yesterday's fall. Aradel and Japol Gold, they were the favored ones for today. And so the market gained 21 billion naira. And of course, the all share index closed in the green, 0.09% at 147,115.63, and the market cap at 93.501 trillion naira. So we'll have the bull again today for the weekend.
And now to other markets. Bitcoin fell as low as $95,000 today, tracking a broader decline in risk-driven markets as sentiment was battered by growing bets that the Federal Reserve will not cut interest rates in December. This also affected global indexes. Asia shares tracked declines as tech sell-offs deepened. Here's a snapshot of closing numbers for markets we track. And that's it on business. It's back to Anne with the rest of the news at 10.
Thank you, Ladi. And outside our shores, a Russian drone has rammed into a block of flats in eastern Kiev during a wave of strikes across the Ukrainian capital, killing at least 6 people and injuring dozens others. Let's now join Simon Puse with this and more international news and around the world in 5 from our London studio.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. A Russian drone has slammed into a block of flats in eastern Kyiv, killing 6 people and wounding dozens of others during a wave of strikes throughout the Ukrainian capital. Meanwhile, Ukraine stepped up its attacks on Russia's oil infrastructure with drone strikes on one of its biggest export terminals on the Black Sea coast. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine had fired long-range Long Neptune cruise missiles during its attacks without specifying where they were targeted. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says there will be an investigation into the mysterious arrival of a chartered plane carrying 153 Palestinians from Gaza into the country. The group arrived at OR Tambo International Airport, but were initially refused entry and were stuck on the plane for more than 10 hours, as they did not have the customary departure stamps in their passports, according to local authorities. Most were eventually allowed in after intervention from a local charity. The circumstances of their departure from Gaza and travel to South Africa remain unclear. Israel has identified the hostage body returned by Hamas on Thursday as that of Meni Goddard, who was 73 when he was killed in the 7th of October attacks. Red Cross vehicles collected his body hours after Hamas issued a joint statement with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, saying it had been located in the Khan Yunis area of southern Gaza. China has summoned the Japanese ambassador in Beijing over Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's comments on Taiwan. China and Japan have been locked in an escalating war of words this week, set off by Takaichi's suggestion that Japan could respond with its own self-defense force if China attacked Taiwan. Both countries' foreign ministries have lodged serious protests with each other. A Chinese diplomat also made a comment which some interpreted as a threat to behead Takaichi. Germany's coalition government has agreed a new military service plan to boost troop numbers following months of wrangling between political forces. The new military service plan will mandate all 18-year-old men to fill out a questionnaire on their suitability to serve and, from 2027, to undergo medical screening. The decision comes as Berlin aims to create Europe's strongest conventional army.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell.
The BBC has apologised to US President Donald Trump for a panorama episode that spliced parts of his 6th of January 2021 speech together, but rejected his demands for compensation. The corporation said the edit had given the mistaken impression that President Trump had made a direct call for violent action, and said it would not show the 2024 programme again. Lawyers for Trump have threatened to sue the BBC for £1 billion in damages unless the corporation issues a retraction, apologises and compensates him. Blue Origin, the space company owned by Jeff Bezos, has successfully launched its New Glenn rocket from Florida. The rocket was carrying 2 NASA spacecraft deployed towards Mars. The Escapade satellites will take 22 months to reach Mars and will orbit the planet to measure its atmosphere and magnetic field. The reusable booster powering New Glenn also separated from the rocket's upper stage and touched down on a floating landing pad in the Atlantic Ocean in a successful first for Blue Origin. And a gold pocket watch recovered from the body of one of the richest passengers on the Titanic is expected to fetch £1 million at auction.
No, please, Ida, get into the boat. No! We've been together for 40 years.
Isidore Strauss and his wife Ida, who both feature in the film Titanic, were among the more than 1,500 people who died when the vessel travelling from Southampton to New York went down. Isidore's 18-carat gold Jules Jurgensen pocket watch, which is thought to have stopped at 2:20 when the ship went down, will go under the hammer on the 22nd of November.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Many thanks indeed, Simon. In the world of sports, 10-time women's African champions, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will battle Morocco and Ghana as the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has cut down the Women National Team of the Year to the final 3 shortlists for the 2025 CAF Awards. The Super Falcons, who are favourites to retain the National Team of the Year, rallied from 2 goals down to beat Morocco 3-2 in Rabat in July this year to clinch a record-extending 10th Women's Nations title. Nigeria's Shakira Trihere Moshood will place for Bayelsa Queens, will battle Morocco's and Doha's El Madani and Ghana's Adji Njaye in the final 3 shortlists for the Women's Young Player of the Year. Well, from the Super Falcons to the Super Eagles, and coach Eric Schell says his team must brace up for a more tougher challenger against the DR Congo in Sunday's final of CAF qualification for FIFA World Cup playoffs. Nigeria and the DR Congo will battle for the lone ticket for Africa to the 6-team Intercontinental Playoff Finals in March, from where 2 teams will bag tickets to next year's FIFA World Cup Finals. The potentially explosive encounter inside the complex Port-au-Prince will see the Leopards, who last attended football's biggest house party in 1974, try to halt the strong march of the Super Eagles to a 7th finals since 1994. Let's head to tennis now, where Yannick Sinner has comfortably defeated Ben Shelton 6-3, 7-6 earlier today to complete a perfect group stage in his ATP Finals defense title. The Italian took 1 hour and 35 minutes to see off spirited Ben Shelton, who bowed out of his debut finals in Turin without a win from his 3 matches in the group. Sinner will face Alex de Minaur in the first semi-finals Saturday afternoon, when he will be Red Hot's favorite to reach his 3rd final in as many years at the season-ending tournament.
Right, from tennis now to boxing, where former world heavyweight champion Joseph Parker has failed a drug test on October 25, the day before his bout against Fabio Wadley in London. The 23-year-old New Zealander suffered 11th round stoppage defeat by British boxer Wadley, losing his status as WBO mandatory challenger for undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk. He could now face a ban depending on the outcome of the investigation. And that's sports. I'm Kelly. Egiga is back to Anne.
Thank you, Kelly. And the main news again. An Abuja Federal High Court led by Justice Peter Khalifa has ordered the PDP to suspend its planned national convention in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawade. Good night and have a restful weekend.
On Metrofile this week, join us on a night of glamour at the Intercontinental Distillers Limited 2025 Distributors Awards Night.
It is all about celebrating legacy at the 80th birthday celebration of Deaconess Nneka Maduneme.
Let's celebrate 70 glorious years with Ashiwaju Olayinka Fashui in Osun State.